In today's video, we're going to look at conditional. Now, this is when we have two propositions and they're connected by an if and then. This is similar to what you guys learned in geometry. If this were to happen, then something else should happen. This is when you have like logical implications. And this is a symbol. That's when you have an arrow connecting the two. So implications is the same as conditional. So when you see this in the IB exam, where they're gonna ask you what is a conditional, and you should know that it's an if and then statement. But in your textbook, they would use the word implication, which means that it's an if and then statement as well. So an example is, you have a proposition P. Pierre passes all her students. Then you have a proposition Q. They will all graduate. Now, let's say if I wanted to do P arrow Q, that means that if Miss Pierre passes all of her students, then they will all graduate. So in order for this to be true, that means that both of these statements have to be true. That means that if Miss Pierre passes all her students and then they all graduated, that means if Miss Pierre passes her student and then her kids all graduated, that means that this is true. Let's say that Miss Pierre passes all her students, but let's say that not all her kids graduate. That's like a false statement. Let's say one of y'all didn't graduate. That means that this isn't a true statement. That means because I did this, this wasn't the outcome. Therefore, it's false. Okay? Because remember, the final statement is saying that if this happens, then this happens. Okay? Let's say that Miss Pierre didn't pass all her students, but then all of you guys graduated. In life, that sometimes happens. And that means that the statement is still true. Because sometimes in life, just because I didn't pass all you guys, doesn't mean that you're not gonna graduate. Sometimes, like you might have a principal who's gonna go over Miss Pierre's head and graduate you anyway, which happens all the time. And let's say that if Miss Pierre didn't pass all her students and you guys didn't graduate, that means that this statement is false. That means that this did not affect this, so it's false. Now, the only two that I want you guys to focus on is that in order for a conditional to be true, is that both of the statements have to be true, or just the second part of the statement has to be true, and then the conditional is true.